Well, we do a lot of questions from you from emails. Bob@WeSellLouisville.com is the email. We also cut those questions up and put those back on YouTube, and we get comments from both you from the questions on YouTube and from listening to this show. So I've started something here. A couple of times now we are looking at the feedback from the show. So Lee, Brandy, this one, you may remember it was entitled, "I improved my home, but the city took it away." Eminent domain, speaking of that. And we get, in all too many cases, and again, I'm protecting the names of the people who write us. Lewis says, in all too many cases, the local government takes a property, then sells the property to someone else, usually a developer, and that is supposedly in the public interest. And Lewis says, I think that's just plain evil and wrong. On this, Lee, can the city take a property and then resell it to a developer?
Well, yes, if it is in the public interest. So there are certain places where somebody has their homestead or has lived for years and years, and maybe the development's coming all around them and they refuse to sell. And they say, no, there's no interest, there's no public benefit for my particular house. I want to keep my house. Mm-hmm. And if that developer or that project or the government or whoever's trying to take that property can show to a court, that they really need this property for the public interest, say it's on a beachfront or say it's on in the middle of some other commercial development or right in the middle of some new development, and this one house is just holding it up. Yep. If they can prove that it's publicly necessary, they can take it. If they can't, then the person gets to keep their house.
Well, on that same question, we elicited a lot of response. Paradise wrote to the person who sent the question, ask why they're taking the property, and then they have to give you enough to replace what one is losing. And I guess in that case, they have to give you fair market value is what she's referring to, correctly?
Right.
Yep.
So how many times does that happen on a residential property where they can take it away if it's just like, let's say it's in the East End somewhere? I mean, where they say, hey, this person's holding out.
It's going to depend on whether they need a road to go through there, whether they need to put up a bridge, whether they need to put up some kind of something that's supposedly in the public interest, whether it's a hospital or whatever it might be. If that particular property is blocking that, or they can't build around it, or it's just not going to work with that residential property there, then they have the right to claim public interest.
But not on a private development so much. So if there's not anything where it's just a builder, a couple builders, or one builder buying it, would they get away with? I mean, would they be able to get that done as well?
Eminent domain is a governmental
right. Right. Okay, I got you.
It's not going to be not private. Right. Yeah.
Right.
On another subject, a topic we had: mortgage secrets changing lenders after an offer. The response we got from Chris: good information. So Randy, good going on that. On a final topic that we'll talk about here, secrets revealed why blurring your home on Google Maps is crucial. You may remember that a couple of months back. Gas Pump said, much appreciation for the Google Map info. Just submitted my notice. That was to help blur your photo on Google. Desperado says, I never gave Google permission to even post my home. We should all sue. And Crypto said to that, thanks again for the information. It's interesting how Google took the pictures without asking my permission, then sells the data to people like Zillow and then collects revenue, but doesn't give me any of it. Thank you for the information, because now I can fight back. Now, those are some of your comments. You can see those comments by going to our website. Go to LouisvilleAnswers.com or LouisvilleQuestions.com. That LouisvilleQuestions.com is a new direction where we're also posting the individual questions that you can see and the comments made by you, the listeners. A reminder
Rob, I got a call the other day from one of our listeners, Betty, and she listens to our show. So, hi, Betty. I hope you're got all that worked out.
Good. Betty, thanks for listening. Thank you all for listening. I don't say that enough. We appreciate that. And a reminder that if you want to visit our Facebook page, go to LouisvilleRealEstateNews.com. We don't talk about that a whole lot, but maybe we should. LouisvilleRealEstateNews.com. And if you want to send me an email, Bob@WeSellLouisville.com is my direct email address.